80s boy and a 90s teen, going on all things Disney, from mouse to parks and in between. Come share the magic with me. La 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 la. Live your life to a Disney tune. Come and share Jake's Disney Afternoon. Hey Disney Afternoon gang, welcome back to my channel. If you're returning here, thanks for coming back. And if you're new, I do all kinds of Disney content, including subscription boxes, hauls, vintage trivia, trips. If it's Disney, we're doing it. So you're gonna wanna hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next Disney adventure. All right, gang, you're gonna have to forgive my voice a little bit here. The COVID found me, it knocked me for a loop for about 5 days. And today is the first day I feel a little bit like maybe I can record, although my voice is a little bit weak. But we're going to try this anyway. We're going to talk about swaps because there's nothing more that I love to do than swaps. If you've watched my channel, you know I've done a good portion of them this year. This year I was just counting the other day, I did 23 swaps, which is more or less 2 a month, which is quite a few. Although I did, what did I count? 9 in Vlogmas alone. So not quite that many. So I've done quite a few swaps. I've been in a lot of groups. I've been with a lot of folks. If you don't know what a swap is an organized theme where people come together and exchange names and curate a box and then send a box to the person. There's usually parameters of a price budget, sometimes requirements of the items depending on the theme. It could be a pin, a Funko, a plush. Sometimes it's just wish list based, but I think most of us know what a swap is. I wanted to talk about how to do swaps. If you're curious about how they work, maybe some things we can work together on as a community to help make swaps a better experience across the board. Anyway, that's what my video is about today. Hope that interests you. I was thinking about why do we do swaps and why do we watch swaps? And the only answer I kept coming back to was community. Swaps are such a great way to build community, both as participants, because I've been in swaps with so many people that I don't know, that I've gotten to know, that are now friends of mine. And then as watchers, we get exposure to other channels that we're not aware of because you get to sort of follow the circle of swaps. So community, which is incidentally the topic of our 3rd video in this New Year series, but that's the topic for another day. All right, so here are some things from beginning of the swap mentality to the final delivery and video date that I thought we'd just talk about as a group. So pre-swapping, it's like pre-gaming, but less fun. There are some things you can do even before you sign up for a swap that'll make your swapping as the buyer, the shopper, more easier. Go to the dollar store, get yourself a bag of extra goodies. They have all kinds of little figures and books and little craft kits, all, Disney themed. And just get yourself a bag of them. Check back at the dollar store, every couple weeks, once a month, something like that, and just kind of fill that bag. Those are great to add in as extra goodies, but you kind of have to have them on hand for you to kind of be able to chuck them in at the last minute, because you're going to see that the box packing comes right at the end and you're just going to want to be ready to go. Invest in some cards or postcards. You can go on Etsy and they have awesome artists who are making them from old coloring books and picture books to original cards. You can go on Shop Disney or any of these places and get postcards and things. Having a collection of writing materials that you can address to your person that you can quickly select from, that may even happen to be on theme, even better, is a good thing to have. Save your boxes. If you get Amazon boxes in, or if you get other kinds of shipments in, a monthly shipment of something, save those boxes, because you never know when you're going to need a box. Save the big ones, save the little ones. You don't know. I've got a whole pile over here ready to go. So yeah, save the good boxes. And then invest in some packing supplies. Get yourself some packing tape and some foozles and some bubble wrap. All of the essentials that you're going to need to order in order to pack up your box safely and get it out. So that's pre-swapping. Pretty simple stuff you could do right now before you're even involved in a swap. So let's move on to the next section, agreement. Make sure you understand what you're getting into, what the terms are of this. I've been added into swap groups before where I had no idea what was going on or how I even got there. I just appeared in this chat of people that was about a swap. Be clear. If you're the host, be clear about what the requirements are. If the requirements aren't clear, don't be afraid to ask. What's the post date? What's the amount? Before you even say yes. Know what you're getting into so that you can follow through on your commitment. Commitment and community, by the way, are linked, and we're going to see that as we go along here. Put it on your calendar. Once you've agreed and once you know what it is, write it on your calendar. Get yourself a little pocket calendar or something if you're going to do a lot of swaps. If you're doing a YouTube calendar in general, it should go right on there. Make it a part of your YouTube planning sessions. And then finally, once you've agreed to the swap, and usually you're put in like an Instagram chat with the other people so that you can talk about requirements and favorites and other things like that. But if you're not following those people both on Instagram and or YouTube, you should do that immediately. That should be a given. Go around and support and subscribe to each other. Give some of that Disney love back, because that's what we should be doing. So make that a priority every time that you're in a group. If you go up to the info, if you click on the top of the chat that you're in, it'll show you all the people there, and it'll show you who you're not following, and you just click on the button, done. And then you go to their YouTube, follow and subscribe there. Sends the love around, and I'm here for it. All right, once you've been given your person, research. This is the stage people fail on, I feel, the most. Get to know your person in their videos. This takes requirement of time on your part, especially if it's a channel that is new to you. And I've got a lot of them that are new to me, but go and watch a couple of videos. Look for videos like my favorite this, or my grail this, or my top 10 this. Anything that'll give you like a really good snapshot, and then watch like a half a dozen of those kinds of videos from their channel. If you're still unsure about your person, you can go about it through another person. I've been the in-between for somebody who's wanted information about this person over here, and they've asked me, hey, what is your favorite? What do you like? Do you already have, etc. So you can also ask very pointed questions to people, because most of these swaps, if you didn't know, are blind, meaning you don't know who's buying for you. Yeah, and then get to know the merch in their preferred category or character. So if you have a person who has preferences that are very much opposite your tastes, and I've had several of those where, it's been like Stitch or princesses or anything Pixar. The merch in those categories is different from the merch that you are used to and are aware of. So you kind of got to do your research on what's out there, what's really popular, what might be more rare. If you find a rare item, and then you can go around looking for a better deal on that rare item. I've done that too. I've gotten $50 items for $10 because the person just wanted to get rid of something. But it took a little bit of work for me to know what I was looking for. So a lot of this is education, and that just takes time. And that's part of the agreement that you took upon yourself when you signed up for the swap. So do yourself a favor, do your person the honor of getting to really know them. So some shopping tips. Shopping is the tough one, because these swaps come on you like that, and you're like, I haven't ordered anything. If you're financially able, buy ahead. Look for big ticket items like Loungefly or Gymsure or pins when they go on sale, especially around these like post-holiday times, or like the Disney Twice Upon a Year, is that what it's called? Twice Upon a Year sale. If you can pick up a couple of items here and there just to have in your storage for cheap, it's an investment now, but it will save you money in the long run, because you will use those items, especially if they're slightly more popular items in terms of like theme or character. I just got a Loungefly bag for $18. I had one coupon, and they had like this big 50% off sale. I'm going to use it, I don't know, as a giveaway or as a swap box, but it's characters I didn't really want, but I know somebody would want them. And for $18, you saved money and gave a really high ticket item. If you're buying ahead, look for items that have multiple characters featured on them. So like maybe something that has princesses or sidekicks or villains. Because the odds are if you get somebody's preferences and they like, the Queen of Hearts, and you have a villain's lanyard or a mug or something and it has the Queen of Hearts plus others, then you certainly have an item that you can send to that person, right? So it's a way to maximize your money and also maximize the potential of who it might be appropriate for. Put things in your cart on eBay or Amazon and watch them. The prices will change, sometimes drastically. I've said this before about eBay. If you put items in your cart, often the seller will make you a special offer. Sometimes it's, 5 or 10%. I've had things that were offered to me at over 50% before. So you just never know, and you can negotiate that way, but it's definitely a way to see the best deal that you can get on something. But again, that takes time. You have to find the item, to put the item in your cart, and then still have time to watch the item and get those deals. Check alternates such as eBay, Mercari, Etsy. Sometimes you're going to come across a seller that sells things less than they know that it's worth, or less than they even care to make. Not everybody's out to either gouge the market or really needs the money in that, they're selling off their collection because they're paying a medical bill or something. Some people just inherit things and they're just getting rid of stuff. So definitely check alternate sites and use alternate search words. Be creative. If the word that could be spelled wrong, check the other spelling. I've done that with the Wuzzles before. Wuzzles, and some people spell it ELS, and I found things that were rare that way. So be creative with your searches. Regifting is totally appropriate. I may step on some toes with this one, but I think if you get a gift that you're not going to use, it's a really quality gift. It's just not something that you're going to use. We don't need extra junk in our lives. And if you have the person that's going to love it and treasure it, give it on. There's nothing shameful in that, and you don't have to feel bad about that. I don't know. I think gifts should find who they belong to rather than sitting under my bed. That's my thought on that. All right, let's move on to boxing it up. Box decor. Ugh. Sorry to the people who've gotten boxes from me. You know that I am the worst at this. I'm trying to be better in 2022, but if you can find a way to print out a few pictures from the internet or fill it with some spangles or things from the dollar store, it makes the boxing fun, and it looks festive in the mail. So think about theming it, especially in these swaps that have highly curated theme. Make sure you're packaging for safety. We talked about investing in packing materials. Pack things up really well so that they travel well. The good news about swaps is the more you swap, the more free packing material you get. I have a whole cupboard in the other room just full of packing material from boxes that I received, and I just saved it, put it in a bag, and I'll pull it out whenever I can. Use secondary shipping methods. If you don't know about Ship Pirate, it's a site online. You just create an account. You measure the box and you weigh the box, and it gives you good deals. You print out your label, you drop it off at the post office, and you're good to go. It is definitely way cheaper than going to the post office. So, if you're going to send out a lot of boxes, think about the cost of shipping. And also while you're shopping, think about how heavy an item is before you ship it. Because that's going to add to your cost at the end of the day. Get your box out on time. That's a friendly reminder. Get it out on time. Honestly, though, you probably need 3 or 4 weeks to get it out on time. With COVID aside, and even now as COVID is ramping up a little bit and things are slowing down. Although I haven't had too much trouble recently with the post office, but you want a couple of weeks buffer to send to your person, and then you want to give them at least a week to be able to film. You don't want the box coming the night before the swap is due, and then they're up at 2 a.m. filming. So think about your person, be courteous to them, get it out on time. Most of these swaps, in my experience, are 3 or 4 months in advance. So you've got it 3 months and then a month to ship. So you should have plenty of time, but you got to budget your time. Be aware of the spending limit. Stepping on the toes, stepping on the toes. Now, this has been less of a problem lately, but I remember when I was first watching swaps, there were a couple I watched that the swap limit was exceeded, meaning like say it was a $50 swap, by more than double. And I think it's unfair. And I think it's great to spoil your person. It's great to have the illusion of spending. Now, you know, I got this $18 lounge fly that I think was $70 or $75. So it may look when I send that out that I spent more. And I get that that's part of that. But I've definitely seen some where it was like an insiders club where two like good friends got each other and like it went way over the top. I like to think about it like a parent buying for their kids at Christmas. Did I say that right? Their parents buying for their children at Christmas. That's what I meant to say. You want to think about equity and making everybody feel good about it. Just something to consider. Okay, let's talk about the list. Oh yes, the list. So the list is my list of folks that I am not going to swap again with. And I feel like I should do one of those in memoriam videos I do at like the Oscars or something like that.
Made you look.
I know some of you all thought I was really going to do it. But I'm not saying that. We're not dropping names. We're not talking about nothing. I want to swap with people that are respective of my time and respective of their channel. This is not my job. My channel's not my job. My channel's not monetized. But it doesn't mean I don't take it seriously. And that if I give my word to something, I'm following through on something. So how do you make it to the list? Obviously, there are exceptions to this because there are real issues that come up. There's been medical issues and family issues and things like that. But chronic issues are really what I'm talking about here, because let's talk about swaps also as a business tool. And we don't like to talk about our channels as businesses too often. I think it makes us seem, corporate and like the man, etc., etc. But swaps are a marketing tool. One of the reasons I love doing them is I get exposure to other audiences that I might not have access or reach to because people are sending each other around, and I've gained subscribers and followers and fans that way. And let's face it, we all want to grow our channel. So let's talk about the fact that swaps are really a practical way that we do that. So it's a little bit of a business transaction as well as a community transaction. Okay. If you don't post your video on time, problem. Folks, get it out. If you don't send your box out on time, we talked about this, but there have been folks that have not. If you don't watch, like, or comment on everybody's swap, everybody in your swap within like a day or so. We all work, we're all busy, but part of the swap commitment is realizing that on May 12th, you're going to need to invest some time in watching this round of people. There's a lot of folks that don't make the rounds, that don't make the effort, and I can't deal with that. And the last one is send a bad box, and this one's a little bit touch and go in terms of like what constitutes that. But I've definitely seen people who have not even made the effort to get to know the person, to buy anything from their list. It barely meets the minimum requirement of the financial aspect or is under that. I'm not saying these things to get, to tattle and to sort of, stir up, bad blood. But what I am saying is respect each other. Respect each other so that we can continue to work together. I want to work together with people who want to take themselves seriously, who take what they do on their channel seriously. Whether it's a hobby or whether it's a business or not is kind of irrelevant. You can take a hobby seriously. It's sort of one of our great cultural flaws that like a hobby's like a thing we do, and that's cute that you like to make this, that, and the other thing. You can be really excellent at that hobby and just not really be making money at it. Like that's an okay thing. So I just want to be involved with people in swaps that are doing it seriously and are, returning the Disney love to each other. So that's my thoughts on swaps. I'd love to hear your experiences with swaps down in the comments below. Let me know. Have they been good? Have you done a lot of them? Have you not done enough of them? Would you like to be doing more of them in the new year? Definitely comment and let me know down below. And then part 2 of our giveaway, if you haven't entered part 1, go back to the video linked around here, and you'll find instructions on watching that video and leaving the comment. But comment down below and leave the hashtag Jake's Disney Afternoon Swap Box, Jake's Disney Afternoon Swap Box, if you want to be entered into the giveaway, which is, I should tell you, a $100 vintage curated box. So you'll send me your preferences, I'll send you a curated vintage box. So enter that video, enter this one, and then there's one more if you want to really be entered. You have to do all 3, coming out hopefully soon. Sorry if my voice has been a little bit sore. I am tired now, but thank you for sticking with it. I can't wait for more swaps this year, and until the next Disney afternoon.